All right, welcome in. It is September 4th, 2025, and this is the first video on this YouTube channel. My goal is just to deliver accurate forecasts over the next 7 to 14 days, covering any sort of weather in the United States. And let's start right now with the National Hurricane Center. This is the Eastern Pacific outlook here. We have two tropical systems we're tracking here. This is Tropical Storm Lorena. It's going to move off to the right here, affecting a lot of Mexico and bringing a lot of rainfall for our southwestern friends here in Arizona, New Mexico, and even into central Texas. I'll get you more on that in just a second. Here's Hurricane Kiko right now sitting around a category 4 strength hurricane. It's very strong and it's moving towards Hawaii. It is weakening, though, a little bit of a warning there. I'll get you the latest on that, how much it's going to weaken, and if it's going to affect the Hawaiian Islands in the future. Right now, we got two high pressure systems sitting off the western coast of Hawaii right now. Again, these rotate clockwise, so it's acting as if or as a steering mechanism for a lot of our tropical storms just anywhere. That's just how it works, I should say. But it's really going to move off to the right. And as it fades away, it's going to leave a vacuum here. So the earlier models were having this tropical storm move directly right into Arizona and New Mexico here. But as of recently, we've seen models giving more of a favorable outcome, less rain, less windy conditions. Here's an old data. I had the last forecast. This is from yesterday saved. You're going to see that high pressure here that I was talking about. It's going to move off to the right, and with it, pulling the hurricane as it forms this vacuum. A hurricane, or excuse me, this is now a tropical depression on this map, but bringing a ton of rain to, southeastern Arizona, southwestern the day before, but Albuquerque, New Mexico, and as it moves into Texas as well, giving it a lot of that moisture that it pushed up into the area. Now, this is the most accurate one, I would say. This is from today, the newest, latest radar. It still has that high pressure there. It's going to move off to the right as well. But as you can see, this tropical system is turning into a depression, and with it, just stalling out over the Pacific Ocean here. But with it, it's still going to push a lot of this moisture up into Arizona. Albuquerque's still seeing this moisture. So just because it's not a hurricane or a tropical storm or tropical depression making landfall into the United States and Mexico, we definitely are still going to keep an eye on this because it can produce a little bit of rain if we're not prepared. Well, it's going to produce a lot of rain. We just need to be prepared for excessive rainfall and the potential for flash floods in that area. This is from the Weather Prediction Center here, giving the next couple of days outlook for excessive rain. We got a slight risk here for pretty much central, the western portion of Arizona. This is Thursday and Friday, moving into Friday and Saturday. Again, moving the system moving more eastwardly towards New Mexico and Texas. And on day 3 outlook here, this is Saturday and Sunday, going to get a marginal risk for excessive rainfall, and even into central Texas the day after. This is the beginning of the work week with Monday. Now, this is from the National Weather Service in Phoenix. Just want to give you this little bit. It's a flood watch. This is for this afternoon and evening. As of the time of this recording, again, it's September 4th, 2025, Thursday night. So they're definitely watching this system and going to get you the latest on that. I think we need to pay attention because it could have the possibility of flooding. Now, this is a satellite image. This is I put this on here to visualize the bands and the moisture being pushed up into the United States here. Excessive rainfall is definitely to be expected with this system. Now let's move on to Hurricane Kiko here. You see it's a very organized system here, an eye wall in there as well. And you can see by the frame, the eye wall is just fading away as it moves over colder and drier conditions, at colder and drier water. You can see it start to disorganized. It's fading away in terms of intensity. And then here's the pathway here, and expected to prominently affect the Hawaiian Islands, Tuesday morning around 8 a.m. And this is from the National Weather Service. This is their model, but in terms of intensity, like I said, sitting around a weak category 4 right now. But the general consensus is a huge weakening trend as it approaches the Hawaiian Islands. 120 days out, this is where we're looking for around that Tuesday morning time frame. You're seeing the general consensus is a tropical storm and a weak hurricane category 1. So I wouldn't suggest any outdoor activities with this hurricane. And people love to go out there and surf and spend time at the beach, but unfortunately that will be dangerous. So proceed with caution, be weather aware. Here is a satellite image of Hurricane Kiko here, and this system is organized and it's primed and ready for some destruction. But again, it's weakening as it moves closer to the Hawaiian Islands. And here's a graphic to visualize this. As it moves closer to Hawaii, you see it starting right now as a category 4. This model is expecting it to fade to a 3, eventually fading to a 1 here. It's a big drop here in the tropical storm as it approaches the Hawaiian Islands. But it's all thanks to the sea surface temperature graphic here. You see, once it moves over that colder water, there is definitely a direct correlation there with the colder water. Also, dry air, darker color is this signifying the less water vapor in the air. And that's going to effectively choke out the hurricane as it's not getting the proper fuel it needs to continue with its development. So it's going to fade to a tropical storm, maybe a weak category 1. We're definitely going to keep an eye on it, and you should keep an eye on too if you are in the Hawaiian Islands or you got family out there. It's definitely a system you definitely want to watch. Now let's go to the next system. Taking a more broader outlook here, the more continental United States. We have a trough starting to form and dip down with it. We got a cold front as well. A lot of that colder and dry air from the north coming in hot here. This is Friday afternoon. There's a cold front here, bringing with it a lot of that moisture as well. This is Friday night as well. You see all this moisture coming in, even into Saturday evening as well. It's going to dip down deep into Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana too. So expect cooler temperatures and a little bit of that Gulf moisture here. As you can see, there is a slight risk of severe weather. This is for, I believe, Saturday. This is central Kentucky, southern Ohio, western West Virginia, even into the northern portions of, the Nashville area, central Tennessee as well. So severe thunderstorms are to be expected with this. Definitely pop-up thunderstorms, maybe some gusty winds with some of these pop-up thunderstorms, and the chances of hail are definitely likely with this. I would say Lexington, Kentucky is right in the middle of this. So we're going to watch that very closely for our friends in Lexington. Now, we do have a dip in the jet stream, like I said. This is a trough here. It's allowing a lot of that cold and dry air from the north to just drop down and give us a little bit of relief from these summertime temperatures. But in terms of precipitation, let me walk you through when these storms are going to come here. This is Friday evening. A lot of these storms starting to fire off. Lexington, Kentucky, is going to see a lot of these storms popping on and off, I should say. So grab your rain jacket, your umbrella, do whatever you have to do because you could get caught off guard in these systems. They're just going to seemingly come out of nowhere, but there will be an organized portion Saturday afternoon as well. Even if you're, outside at, football games across the Southeast United States, tailgating, whatever you got going on for your Friday night and Saturday afternoon plans, make sure you got a rain jacket or umbrella on you for those conditions. But in terms of temperature, things are definitely cooling off here across the United States here, thanks to this trough dropping a lot of that cold and dry air from our friends in the North, Canada. And you can see southeastern Minnesota there at 38 degrees. That's pretty cold for this time of year. Not significantly below average temperatures across the United States, but definitely some much needed relief. And we've seen these cooler temperatures over the past week. Haven't seen the hot, intense heat. So people are calling this false fall, but I think it's been here to stay. Will fall be coming here soon? We will see. But these temperatures have been here for an abnormal amount of time, I should say. But taking a look back at the Atlantic here, this is the National Hurricane Center again, giving a 90% chance of cyclone formation in the next 7 days. They're giving a big bubble here, a zone of development, I should say, here. And anything in the red zone, a red color, is going to be above a 60% chance. So there is definitely confidence that something is quite possibly going to develop over the next 7 days. But let me walk you through what it could look like here. This is the GFS, one of the most accurate long-range outlooks here, weather models. So you're going to want to watch this low pressure down here off the coast of Africa. It's being held down by this clockwise moving high pressure system. And that's the Bermuda High. It's going to act as a steering mechanism to keep it down here in these warm waters. Again, this is almost peak hurricane season. So development is going to happen quickly if it does. And you're going to start to see it organize around Monday morning. And if it does that, it's going to move off to the west. And the GFS model has it increasing to quite a dangerous level of a hurricane, a monster of a hurricane. But I want to emphasize and make this completely clear. This is way too far out to get concerned. I don't want people, raiding the Walmarts or doing whatever, but take it with a grain of salt. It's not gospel. It's not truth just yet. But the general consensus is something is forming in the Atlantic, and we are watching it very closely. Now, run this out here. This model is having it forming, like I said, a very strong hurricane, but high pressure moves in and pushes it off to the east, making a U-turn here off to the east. But General consensus is that this is going to form over the southern Atlantic and move up towards the Caribbeans. And from there, we will watch it very closely and get you the latest on that. But yeah, that's your next 7 to 10 days weather outlook in the continental United States. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe for future videos.